Imagine waking up to find a pig mask on your doorstep, then discovering your car has been secretly tracked by GPS. Strangers knock on your door claiming to be FBI agents who know your name. Cockroaches arrive in the mail. Your every movement is watched, your every moment violated. This isn't a horror movie. This is gang stalking. And for thousands of victims, it's a living nightmare that can end in murder. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on 4 shocking true stories that prove coordinated harassment isn't just paranoia, it's a weapon. It's a weapon wielded by obsessed ex-lovers, corrupt police officers, and even Fortune 500 corporations. These aren't conspiracy theories whispered in dark corners of the internet. These are court-documented cases with real victims, real perpetrators, and in one tragic case, real blood spilled in an apartment hallway. From a 7-year campaign of terror that drove a mother to the brink, to the unsolved execution of a government contractor with top-secret clearance, to eBay executives ordering employees to burn down a journalist with packages of fetal pigs and funeral wreaths, to Calgary police officers selling their badges to the highest bidder. These stories will challenge everything you thought you knew about who you can trust and how far people will go to destroy another human being. What you're about to hear isn't just true crime. It's a window into a disturbing world where the line between paranoid delusion and horrifying reality disappears, where victims scream for help while the world dismisses them as crazy, and where sometimes being paranoid means you're paying attention. These are the stories of the hunted, the hunters, and the moment when stalking becomes something else. Hello strangers, welcome back to the Strange Bar and Grill. I'm your host, JP. Now before we dive into today's cases, let me paint you a picture of what gang stalking is. See, regular stalking is terrifying enough. One person obsessed with you, following you, watching you. But gang stalking, that's when multiple people work together to destroy your life. They coordinate, they plan, they take turns so you never know who's watching. Now here's the thing, researchers say most people who claim they're being gang stalked are actually experiencing delusions. But the cases I'm about to share with you, these are real documented cases, court documented. Convictions handed down, lives destroyed, not delusions. Now I won't hold you any longer, so let's just jump right in. Let me tell you about Athena Lisa. She was 29 years old, working as a nurse, raising 3 kids. She had a boyfriend who seemed nice enough until he lost his job, and that's when everything changed. The first time he hit her, he busted her lip and choked her. Athena did what she was supposed to do. She called the police. He left and went home, but later that night, even though he lived far away, this man walked all the way to her house in the middle of the night and started throwing rocks at her window. The cops came again, talked to him, and just let him go. But here's where Athena's story takes a turn that'll make your blood run cold. This wasn't just an angry ex-boyfriend. This was a gang member with an entire network ready to help him destroy her life. So listen to what he did to her. So he had different people giving her gifts from him, family members calling her phone constantly, people following her everywhere she went. He was constantly watching me, she said. I never knew. He knew my schedule. He knew my patterns. It was pressure from every angle. The pressure got so bad that she cracked. She let him back in, and that was a huge mistake because he came back into her life and started physically and mentally abusing her again. And this time it escalated to another level. Athena was working as a licensed practical nurse at a nursing home. A good job, steady income for her and her kids. But when he started showing up, he would stand outside her job. He would watch from the windows. He called the front desk several times back to back. She ended up losing that job, so she found another one in a different town, thinking distance would save her. Nope, he had people follow her there too. The gang's reach was everywhere. Now this is where things get really sick. Athena had dogs, and they kept mysteriously escaping. But here's the twisted part. Her ex would always know exactly where to find them. They kept getting loose. The only way they could have gotten loose is if they had fingers, she said. He was letting her dogs out and then playing hero by finding them. One cop even saw through it, sarcastically telling him, "Oh, you found the dog. You should be a detective or something." But they weren't done with the dogs. On Easter Sunday, the boyfriend, or one of his friends, killed one of her dogs and left the body in a field that she walked past every day. It was supposed to be a message, Athena said. They hacked into every part of her life. Family members called her phone company pretending to be her. I would get a text message while I was sleeping saying my password had been changed, she remembered. He even walked into phone stores trying to get access to her accounts. Things quickly escalated to attempted murder when someone tried to burn her house down. Her mail was being stolen. And get this, she started dating a new guy who seemed really nice. Turned out, he was friends with her ex, and she's pretty sure that this guy tried to poison her. But every time she called the cops, he'd get arrested, and every time he got out, he'd walk straight from the jail to her house. A case against him started in 2019. He dragged it out until November of 2022, 3 years of legal games. He even tried to get a restraining order against her twice. The judges saw through it though, but imagine the nerve of this guy. Athena testified against her ex-boyfriend in court and got a conviction. It's unknown how much time he actually got. She's in law school now, studying to help other victims. But 7 years? 7 years of coordinated terror from an entire gang. That's just one example of what gang stalking looks like when it's real. But there's more. Now, let me tell you about Kenneka Pal, because her story will haunt you. On Saturday, August 23rd of 2008, about 7 in the evening, Kenneka's home alone in her apartment in Laurel, Maryland, when someone knocks on her door. She looks through the peephole and sees a man in a business suit. Late 20s, about 5'11", he says, "Miss Kenneka Pal, we're investigating a crime. Please open your door so I can talk to you." Now, Kenneka was smart. She worked in security. She knew protocols. The man held up a badge, but no photo ID, a red flag. "I need to see photo ID, not just a badge," she said through the door. The man got agitated. "Ma'am, I showed you my badge. I need to speak with you about this urgent matter." That's when the man left. Kenneka looked out her bedroom window and heard another man's voice tell the man who was just at her door to walk in the opposite direction. 2 of them, working together. They left, but it didn't end there. That night, Kenneka sent an email to her family and friends. I'm going to read you the whole thing because these might have been some of the last words she wrote. Quote, "I just wanted to share with you the most scariest thing that happened to me this weekend. Saturday evening around 7 p.m., a man was knocking at my door. As all of you may know, I live alone. I asked who it was and he didn't answer. So once I got closer to the door and looked out of the peephole, I saw a male figure that was not familiar to me at all. I asked who he was, and all he stated was that he was from the FBI and that he was looking for Kenneka Pal. It freaked me out completely because this man knew my name. He held up a shield but no picture ID, and he never gave his name. He told me he was looking for me in regards to an investigation. I told him that I had no idea as to what he was talking about, and that he would need to show me documentation as well as a warrant of some sort. So he left, and I looked out my bedroom window and I saw him walking. I also heard a voice tell him to walk in the opposite direction. The whole situation was scary and seemed so false. So because of this incident, not only did I get no sleep for the rest of the weekend, I am trying to get an alarm system installed in my apartment. I had one in my old apartment, but I just hadn't had it transferred over to my new one. As far as everything that happened with the guy, I did call the FBI. They told me that it was more than likely bogus because they never come to your door by themselves and always leave a card of some sort so that you can contact them. I called the local police as well to give them a description just in case someone is out there trying to rape or harm single women. Pass this on, ladies. This is not a fake forward. This happened to me, Kenneka. Who knows who these guys are and what they're doing in what areas other than mine. Signed, Kenneka T. Pal, Special Security. On Wednesday evening, August 27th, another knock at Kenneka's door. Different man this time. A man wearing jeans and a t-shirt. He says he has a package for her. "Leave it at the door," Kenneka said. "I need to go get the package. I'll get it and be right back." But he never returned with the package. No delivery company had any record of a package for her. The next day, on Thursday, August 28th, around 7:30 in the morning, another man shows up at her door, again claiming he had a package. But 7:30 in the morning, but again, Kenneka refused to open the door for this mysterious delivery man. The man would continue to try to get her to open the door, and Kenneka would stand her ground and refuse. Once the man left, Kenneka would call her mother immediately. Ma, another person came here saying they have a package for me. Why are these people bothering me? Who delivers a package at 7:30 in the morning? Her mother heard the fear in her daughter's voice. Don't open that door, Kenneka. Call the police right now. Kenneka called the police, but they didn't find anything. She told her mother during their conversation that she was going to take the day off from work because the next day she was planning to leave town. It's unclear whether the trip was personal or work-related, or if she was spooked and she wanted to get out of there. But her work often required her to leave town. But she said, you know what, I have some errands to run and I want to knock them out early. I don't want to do them at night because this strange person keeps coming to my door. So she left to run her errands early that morning. And at 11:50 a.m., same day, Kenneka came home from running her errands. Someone was waiting in the stairwell. A neighbor heard it all. I heard at least 5 or 6 pops. Then I heard a woman scream. But it was cut short. Then more shots. The killer shot Kenneka in the back as she tried to run to her apartment. She fell just feet from her door, keys still in her hand. Her purse was still on her shoulder, nothing stolen. This was an execution. The FBI got involved because of Kenneka's security clearance. A co-worker said she'd been trying to get their security office involved, thinking it might be related to her classified work. Her mother still replays their last conversation. She told me that Wednesday night, Ma, I feel like I'm being watched. Even at work, I feel like someone's following me. I should have insisted she come stay with me, her mother would say. 3 different men, 5 days. All of them knew her name, all of them working together. And then she was dead. 16 years later, no arrests, a $25,000 reward just sitting there. Kenneka's case is ice cold, and somewhere out there, the people who stalked and murdered her are walking free. Now, this case is so bizarre that I really thought about doing a deep dive, a full story on it. So if you want me to do that, let me know in the comment section, and maybe I'll add that story to an upcoming video. Now, you might be thinking, okay, gang stalking by criminals, I get it, but what about when it's a major corporation? What about when it's a company you've probably bought from? Let me tell you about David and Ina Steiner, a married couple in Massachusetts who ran a little newsletter called E-Commerce Bites. They wrote about online selling, reviewed eBay policies, sometimes criticizing the company, just normal journalism stuff. But in 2019, eBay decided to destroy them. It started when Ina wrote about eBay's CEO making 152 times more than the average employee. The CEO, Devin Wenig, didn't like that. He texted his communications chief, "Take her down." The communications chief, Steve Weimer, told the security director, "We're going to crush this lady." Then he got more specific. "I want to see ashes, as long as it takes, whatever it takes." Let that sink in. These are executives at a Fortune 500 company talking about a journalist like she's the world's biggest enemy. What happened next sounds like a horror movie, but it's all documented in federal court. The Steiners started getting packages. A bloody pig mask from the movie Saw, a preserved pig fetus, live cockroaches, live spiders, a funeral wreath, a book about surviving the death of your spouse. Then came the digital assault, 50 pornographic newsletters in one day, ads on Craigslist advertising sex parties at their house, their home address posted online inviting strangers to yard sales that didn't even exist. But eBay didn't stop at packages. They sent a team from California to Massachusetts. These employees stayed in luxury hotels, rented cars, and followed the Steiners everywhere. They tried to break into the couple's garage to plant a GPS tracker. When that failed, they planned to ram Ina's car to force her to take it to a mechanic. Then an eBay employee would install the tracker. One night, they spray painted the Steiners' fence. The message was clear: "We know where you live, and we can get to you anytime." It felt like corporate terrorism, Ina said later, because we were terrorized, and it was very calculated. It was very vicious. The couple installed 8 security cameras. They put alarms on their doors. They started sleeping in separate bedrooms, so if someone broke in, one of them might escape. They lost advertisers, lost income, had to cash in their retirement savings. "What eBay did to us has changed me forever," David said. "I don't think the old David is coming back soon," he would mention. 7 eBay employees went to prison for this. The company paid $3 million in fines. The U.S. attorney called it a determined, systematic effort by senior employees of a major company to destroy the lives of a couple all because they published content that executives did not like. So here's my question. If eBay could do this to the Steiners, what's stopping any big company from doing it to you? Our last story takes us to Calgary, Canada, where a millionaire named Ken Carter decided to destroy his ex-girlfriend, Athena Taylor. But Carter didn't do it alone. He hired the police. When Carter and Taylor broke up after having a daughter together, Carter literally declared war. He told people he would spend every last dime and every last cent to follow her for 10, 20, 30 years. He hired a retired cop named Steve Walton and his wife Heather. They recruited 3 active Calgary police officers, Brian Morton, Brad McNish, and Tony Braille. The price? $1,000 per surveillance shift. No matter how short, illegal database searches cost extra, up to $1,000 per search. Ken Carter would spend between $800,000 and $1 million to stalk one woman. These cops put GPS trackers on Athale's car. They followed her in their personal vehicles and in marked police cars. They were planning to bug her home. One time, 3 cars boxed in her vehicle on a main road, just to intimidate her. Imagine seeing police cars surrounding you, thinking you're in trouble, but really they're being paid by your ex to terrorize you. Heather Walton offered Athale's best friend $10,000 cash for dirt on her. Ken Carter's brother flew to Vancouver to visit Athale's mother, telling her that Ken was a very scary man and she should just give him what he wanted. Athale was falling apart. Her mother said she was considering self-harm. The depth of fear I felt being at the mercy of the Calgary police, not knowing how many people were involved, was endless, Athale said. Then one of the cops, Tony Braille, couldn't take it anymore. In August of 2014, he met Athale and her lawyer at a pub and confessed everything. "I've been paid to follow you, bug your home, and track your car," he told her. He said they told him she was a drug addict and a prostitute. But after a year of surveillance, he realized she wasn't doing anything improper. "I'm upset about the dirty cops," he said. He wanted to clear his conscience. All 3 cops went to prison. Morton got 30 months. McNish got 6 months. Braille got 90 days on weekends because he cooperated. Ken Carter got 3 years, which is wild. He only got 3 years for destroying this woman's life. The judge said it best. When police sell their services for personal profit, the rule of law breaks down. But think about this. These cops use their badges, their access to databases, their authority, all to help a rich man stalk his ex. If you can't trust the police, who can you trust? I mean, I don't trust the police anyway, but, that's something people say, not me. So what have we learned from these 4 stories? Gang stalking is real, and it follows a pattern. First, it starts small. A knock on the door, a strange encounter. Easy to dismiss. Then it escalates. Multiple people get involved. They know things about you they shouldn't know. They show up to places they shouldn't be. The technology comes next. Hacked accounts, GPS trackers, intercepted mail. They want you to know you're never alone, never safe. Then comes the psychological warfare. Dead animals, threatening packages, people following your kids. They want to break your mind before they break your body. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes, it ends in violence. Sometimes it ends like Kenneka Pal, bleeding out in a hallway. Her murderers never caught. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. Let me know what you guys think of this one in the comment section. Is gang stalking real? Do you have any personal experiences dealing with gang stalking? Leave it in the comment section. Do you want to see me deep dive on any of these shorter stories? Let me know in the comment section. Anyway guys, be safe, be good, and have a wonderful day.